stylized internship arc, the irony of the brute force hero. Following the sports festival and the transformative period of the mold arc, Ren, his true magic now known and surprisingly accepted by UA and his classmates, faced the daunting task of choosing a hero internship. His public performance had secured him several offers, but UA had a specific, calculated placement in mind. Ren was assigned to Death Arms, a pro hero renowned for his immense physical strength, direct confrontation style, and the sheer brute force of his quirk. It was an ironic pairing. Ren, a master of subtle, ancient magic, placed with a hero who valued tearing through obstacles and smashing villains head-on. Principal Nezu and Aizawa, in their infinite wisdom, saw this as the ultimate test and cover. Amidst immense, overt destruction and flashy quirk displays, Ren's quiet magic would be even harder to detect, forcing him to refine his discretion in the most unmagical environments. Death Arms, initially polite but visibly confused by the quiet, small student from Class 1A, likely thought, UA sent me a kid whose quirk is what, exactly? Good luck? He saw Ren as observant and surprisingly quick, but certainly not a frontline combatant like his usual sidekicks. The relief of UA's acceptance was immediately overshadowed by the renewed tension of secrecy. Ren's daily routine with Death Arms involved high-impact patrols and responses to major incidents across Musutafu, Japan, that often spiraled into significant property damage and direct physical threats. The irony of his role was ever present. While Death Arms was tearing through obstacles or clashing head-on with villains, Ren was quietly doing the invisible work. During chaotic rescue operations, he'd use subtle telekinesis to gently lift heavy debris just enough for trapped civilians to be pulled free, making it seem like a coordinated effort with Death Arms' destructive path. If a collapsed structure became precarious, Ren might subtly apply mending charms on key stress points, temporarily stabilizing it without anyone noticing. In direct villain encounters while Death Arms was brawling, Ren would employ quick, unseen spells like
"You're drunk, itchy bones"
on a villain's accomplice, causing them to suddenly falter or drop a weapon, which Death Arms would attribute to his own overwhelming force, or the villain simply being clumsy. To the cameras and onlookers, Ren was just that quiet sidekick from UA who keeps his distance, utterly oblivious to the intricate, invisible ballet of magic happening right under their noses. An amusing yet telling aspect of Ren's internship was his unwitting role in fixing collateral damage. After Death Arms had punched through a wall or flattened a street lamp during a high-octane chase, Ren would discreetly employ minor mending spells on cracked pavement or bent lampposts, making it seem like the cleanup crew was incredibly efficient, or that the damage wasn't as severe as it appeared. Death Arms began to notice odd things. Why did their job always seem to go just a little smoother when Ren was around? Why did villains occasionally just stop or flinch at opportune moments? He might attribute it to Ren having an incredibly subtle luck or aura quirk, or just being an exceptionally sharp kid. This fostered an unspoken, grudging respect. Death Arms recognized Ren's quiet effectiveness, even if he didn't fully understand it, acknowledging that the boy brought something uniquely valuable to the team. The careful balance was nearly shattered during an altercation with a villain gang that employed quirks capable of manipulating the very ground beneath them, causing widespread sinkholes and structural collapses. As a massive section of road began to give way, threatening to swallow a bus full of civilians, Ren was forced to act with less restraint than usual. He projected a potent, localized, ground-stabilized spell, a shimmering, green-tinged barrier of pure magical force that pulsed briefly, undeniably, for a split second, holding the earth firm until Death Arms could provide more overt support. The spell was too fast to capture on camera, but Death Arms, who was right beside him, felt the strange, ancient energy and saw the brief, undeniable magical glow. He grunted, a look of profound puzzlement on his face. "Kid, what was that?" he muttered, a hint of genuine suspicion now mixed with awe. In that same chaotic moment, Ren felt a chilling, familiar presence. Though unseen by others, a faint shimmer of distorted reality, a pattern breach in the fabric of existence, briefly ghosted along the rooftops, a signature only he and the villain who knew his secret could perceive. The villain, whose pattern breach quirk allowed him to see magic indirectly, had been drawn by the concentrated surge of Ren's spell, confirming his continued, unsettling awareness of Ren's power and existence. As the internship drew to a close, Ren reflected on the intense challenge and the profound growth he'd experienced. He had honed his ability to use magic under pressure, in plain sight, without being detected, to an almost unparalleled degree. Death Arms' final assessment was full of praise for Ren's unique contributions and rapid development, though the pro hero's lingering curiosity about the full extent of Ren's abilities was evident. Ren's internal struggle persisted. The relief of being accepted for his true self at UA contrasted sharply with the renewed isolation of hiding his magic from his powerful mentor. With the ancient magic villain, now identified by his terrifying pattern breach quirk, still a tangible lurking threat, Ren understood that his path as a hero would always be a tightrope walk, balancing his true power with the ever-present need for secrecy, in a world not yet ready to fully comprehend him beyond the realm of quirks.
What the hell? What the hell?